Thank you for coming to the shit show.
Oh, thanks for having me. It felt right.
It just felt
for me to be here.
Yeah. You said, like, when you walked in, because I'm such a fan of you, I think it's really interesting because you were like, oh my goodness, like, I know you. And that's so weird for me because I'm like, me, little old me.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, we might have run into each other back in the day.
No, never.
We never did.
Never.
Like,
you were like such a superstar.
Nah.
And, but pointless relationship.
Oh my goodness.
Very big jam of mine.
Oh my goodness. Did you rock out?
Oh, like you would not believe.
Did you really?
Oh, we just held on to that song like it got us through everything. And I think like you were my whole friend group, you were everyone's favorite on Home and Away.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry.
And,
We just started.
Well, you're like, it's, yeah. So when you started doing this, I was like, oh my God, I'm actually like a really big Tammin fan. This
and
is
look
cool.
at you now. Like, look at, like, 15 years of the hard slog, which is very Aussie to say that. And did you ever feel, when people say, oh my goodness, like they say that I was working in America and I was on a TV show there and like, oh my goodness, this was like an overnight thing. It was an overnight success. I was like, dude, I've been doing this since I was like 14 years old. Sorry, we're shooting. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Do we need to start?
I didn't do that.
Do we need to start again or no?
It's covering a bit of you.
What do we do?
Carry on.
Just carry on?
Carry on, yeah.
So when people say you're an overnight success, and I know you've been doing the hard slog, which is very Aussie of me to say, for so long, do you want to say to them, like, you have no idea how much hardship you've had in your life? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not getting to not a lot of people just become successful, right?
No, yeah.
There's so much that's going on under the surface that people don't see and they don't understand and they don't feel. So you're like, yeah, I'm here, but like, fuck, I should be.
Yeah. No, it's so true. Like it's funny because what you said is so right. Like there is not very many people who just like, put a song out and it went crazy from day one. Like usually everyone's got a story behind their success and whatever. But yeah, there is some times where it's really hard to explain to people because unless you've lived it, and you've probably been through the same thing, unless you have felt those feelings and the lowness and the so close to giving up and worthless and you're out of money and you're fighting with your boyfriend because you want this and you don't think it's going to happen and then it gets close to happening and it doesn't, and it's like no one sees those years. So it's really hard to explain that. That's why you get emotional if you win an award. That's why, because it all builds up and you're like, oh my God, we've just worked so hard and given up so much to get here.
Do you ever feel like, because I do, that when you're successful or when something's hit and it's big, that you're about to lose it?
Yeah.
Like all the time. You're like, when's this shoe going to drop?
Tammin, I was really difficult to manage at the start because, I just wasn't sure. I was like, this is too good to be true. Like, what's the catch? Like, and yeah, every day I was like, someone's going to take this away. I was very protective of the music and just me as an artist and my direction. And I look back now and I must have been really difficult because it was just so overwhelming. And yeah, you do. You think it can all go away if I don't keep everything really close to me.
Yeah.
But then, you realize if I just keep trying to keep everything so close, I'm just like, I'm going to combust. Like, 'cause I need help.
And do you fear failure? Like, do you fear that you're going, like, if you didn't get to where you are now, would you have been okay?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you would have been okay to not be to the level of success that you are.
Yeah, 100%. I finally had a job that I really enjoyed, where I was sort of cutting videos and doing stuff. And my husband worked at the same football club, and he was working in like finance and sport, which was his dream. And we had so many setbacks that we were well okay with it, to the point where we were like really refocusing on maybe having a family, or maybe like it was really getting serious to that, direction. And that's how I know I was really meant to do this, because I had given up and we,
Yeah, it's always then, right?
Yeah, and then it just went bang.
Do you have imposter syndrome? Like me, feeling like when you show up at an event, you're like, why me? Like,
Yeah.
Or do you feel like you deserve to be there?
I will always struggle with imposter syndrome. I think it's it's sort of how I grew up. Like my parents were very, very Queenslander, where it's just like, oh God, you got tickets on yourself, do you?
Yeah.
Or,
You're
like,
not, they're
calm
not
down.
that good.
Yeah, like sit down, like, you know, it's just, and they didn't mean for it to be hurtful, but I'm always like, oh, sorry, did I, is it okay if I sit here? I've got, it's ingrained in me,
Right.
to be a little cautious and feel like, yeah, maybe I'm not good enough, and everyone here looks nicer, or I don't know. Like,
I think we all feel that. I mean, even Australia, I feel like maybe a little more than places like America. That's, you know, don't think you're too big for your britches, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't think you're too good, you know?
That's why I love going to America, though.
Here's everyone's like, you're great.
Everyone's like, you're, oh my God, you're a superstar.
Yeah.
And they're
like,
always
it's
like,
bullshit.
Yeah.
You're lying to me.
yeah. And here, if you have a friend, you're like, she's all right. Yeah, she goes all right.
Yeah.
But over there, it's like, I got a buddy and he's a rock star, man. You should see him. Like,
And
I'm
you're gonna
singing
be
his
a
music.
star.
Yeah. It's like everyone's lifting each other up.
I used to love it, like when I was younger, like in my 20s, seeing all the agents and like, oh, you're gonna be a star, like everything's gonna be great, and you're gonna be like an A-list actress. And then I was like, yes, I am. And then over time, because you do have that self-doubt sort of creep in, I was like, you're bullshitting me, you know?
Yeah.
You are bullshitting me, and you can kind of see through the veneers and like, you know, the whole smoke and mirrors sort of thing, and you realize that it's really up to the work.
Yeah.
It's up to the work, and my husband and I have a production company. It's up to creating this stuff for yourself, because now I realize no one's going to do or open any doors for you unless they're going to get, I know it sounds horrible, but it's like transactional, right? Unless
Totally.
people get something from it, unless
Yeah.
they make money off you,
Yeah.
they're not going to help you. They're not going to be like, oh, let me just help this really talented artist and for nothing. I'm not going to get anything out of it, you know?
That's why I think you obviously work with your husband. Like, it's a real, if you can find that person, and not everyone can do it, but like if you can find that person and work together, that's when it can become very unstoppable, because you really have each other's back. And like, you know, Shane manages me, so it's like, it's you know, we're always gonna be in it for the right reasons. And it does, like, the more success you get, the more people want some, and that's where you see the ugliest side of success. Like, it can be really, really ugly.
And you kind of don't, like, for me, when that started to happen, I felt my worth was only due to my level of success, or, you know, it also tied in with looks a little bit for me when I was younger. But like, without that, and you get older and you lose your looks, and sometimes you don't work and sometimes you don't have hits, like, what are you without that?
Yeah.
And do the people still love you without that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think going back to what you said about you scared of losing it, I think when I worked at the football club, I always saw players like getting that, I used to call it the Grim Reaper tap.
Yeah.
Like, your career's over because they're old now, and, you know, you can't do the moves anymore, and you're not fast enough. It used to destroy me, because I'd get to know these guys, and I used to think, God, that's so brutal. And I think, you know, as a woman in the music industry and the entertainment industry, it feels like that sometimes. You're like, when's that Grim Reaper tap gonna happen? Like, we're done with you now.
Yep.
Like, we kind of get it.
You're too
we get
old.
It. Yeah, you're too old. We're done now.
Can't sell sex on you, like Sex and Desire.
Exactly. Yeah. You're we always say, you're a little bit unfuckable now.
Oh
so.
God. I always say to my husband, I'm always like, you gotta leave. If we're gonna leave me, just leave me like now, because I've got 4 good years. I've got like 4 good years right now.
I'm still kind of hot.
I'm like, I'm still kind of
Tammin,
cute.
you are the biggest babe in the world.
For 4 more years, I can
please.
probably get someone
like
to like
80
fall on
and
top of
still
me. Do you know what I
babing.
mean? Like, probably. So I was like, you gotta leave me now. But I read this article that said that you used to hide the fact that you had a relationship, which, listen, I get it. Like, I so get it. Sometimes now, you know, even I'm like always navigating, okay, well, maybe don't talk too much about my husband or how awesome he is, because, you know, am I still going to get this job if they know that I'm like so happy in my marriage, which sounds awful, but it's just kind of part of it when you're in the public eye. It's like, don't bring your love story too much to light.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was Shane. He was like, yeah, I think you should just, like, you know, when you start promoting the album or the EP or whatever it was back, you know, when I first got signed, he's like, just don't, you know, it's it's okay. Like, don't feel bad. I think it's a
Yeah.
good idea that you sort of don't say that you're married. And I was like, and I did it for a bit. And it's so weird and stupid. And I think, you know, I didn't want a fan base that didn't know me. I want a fan base that knows me and knows me well and knows my, you know, like my life, I guess. Like, no, I'm very protective of a lot of parts of my life. And I'm not one of these people that will do, you know, every day in the life and show everything in my life, and I won't show all my family all the time. And you know, I'm very protective of a lot of things, but when it comes to like who you're married to, it's
I know.
like, God, I can't hide that.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
What's something you won't write about?
Something I won't write about. Ooh, damn. I think, you know what? I think
I feel like I've written it all.
Pardon?
Have you written it all?
I've written about every heavy thing in my life, but it's a lot of things that are hard to write about. I kind of do it in trickery, like poetically or something that, like I've got a song called "You Think I Sound Like God," and no one really understands that song but me.
Can you tell me what it means?
Pardon?
Can you tell me what it means?
No.
Maybe
You
a
can
little
look as cute as you
bit.
want, Tammin.
Okay, come on, remember all the times that you were like
Yeah.
into, like thought I was nice and sweet on Home and Away back in the day. We're friends. There's no recording
Yeah.
microphone right now.
It's one of those things where I think it takes away a lot of the magic. I think a lot of fans get so much of you, and if I give everything away, it's like there's no mystery at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I also love that people, like I watch people write what they think the songs are about and what it means to them, and I'm like, I love that means that to you. It's so not what the song is, but I love that that's how it makes you feel, and that's how you're connecting with it. So I don't want to destroy that, you know.
Do you think The Vampire by Olivia Rodriguez is about Taylor Swift?
Oh my God, I haven't even.
Did you not know about that whole fiasco?
No.
Apparently, she wrote a song that was like, Olivia wrote a song. She was friends with Taylor. Like, Taylor took her under her wing. This is hearsay, okay?
I love this.
And then what happened? Dell, stop laughing in the background.
He's loving
I'm just kidding.
this.
I love it. It's good. So apparently, Olivia Rodriguez was really close to Taylor Swift, and she wrote a song accidentally that was like one of Taylor Swift's songs. I think it was Cruel Summer.
Right.
And Taylor Swift sued her.
That's right.
And so Vampire's about someone that comes out at night and kind of screws you over, and girls your age know better. I don't know. Listen, I'm a Taylor Swift fan and I'm an Olivia Rodriguez fan.
If I was Olivia coming after Taylor Swift, I mean,
You'd be like,
snaps
I'm out.
for even trying, like,
I'm
because
out.
that's like I would be terrified.
Do you want that level of fame? Would you want that level of fame?
Never.
Taylor Swift's level of fame?
And I think that's why I actually got emotional the other night. I went and saw her 2 nights ago.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. And I am a big Taylor Swift fan. To call myself a Swiftie is very extreme. I'm not sure I could go there. But after that night,
Same.
I was like, I'm dead set a Swiftie. Like I can't believe, like it felt like Beatles. It felt like, I don't think we'll get anyone as big as this artist and as professional as she is and as mind-blowing as she is in our lifetime again. Like it's just insane.
We did a movie with her brother. My husband and I wrote a movie about 3 years ago, and we shot it. Her brother came to the premiere, and we had lunch with her parents.
Wow,
And
that's cool.
but back then, like 3 years ago, I was into Taylor Swift, but it felt different 3 years ago. I don't know. It feels like mania right now.
Yeah, for real.
So I didn't think too much of it, and I just thought, just such nice, grounded people who just seem like they love their kid. And you know what I thought about her when I saw her live? Because again, I'm not a Swiftie, but I like her music. Like, give me a song and I'll rock out to it.
Exactly.
But I think she's where she is. Yes, she's talented, beautiful, professional, great songs. So that's obviously important. Luck also plays a part. But because she fucking loves what she does. And I feel like it radiates, right? And it's almost like this godlike feeling that radiates from her into all her fans. Yeah. And so you sell a feeling, right? You know, I don't believe you sell music. You sell a feeling, and I believe she sells a feeling, and the feeling is of togetherness and power, like powerful women.
And just honesty.
And honesty and grace.
That's it.
And I think that's what she's selling. And when I watched her and I saw the concert, I was like, I feel better leaving.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, I think that's
the happiness in that stadium.
massive success.
And the way she does it, it does feel like you're in her lounge room. It's just so, it's mesmerizing. But like you said, I had a friend that was talking to me about her and said, God, why wouldn't you just be with that Travis and just like take a day off, you know, and like go and like, you know, have the rest of her life because she's got all the money in the world. Why would she still write? And I was just like, because she loves it.
And she has
it's
to
exactly
probably
the
to
same
survive.
reason I will still be doing this if no one buys the records or whatever. It's like, because I love it. It's like if you, anything that you enjoy doing is going to get there. And I think that's why she is where she is, like you said, is because she just genuinely loves it. It's not to break, she's not trying to break records. She's just like writing really great songs.
Yeah. And I think that she did say this at the concert. She was like, I needed this record.
Yeah.
You know, I think that I act or I write because I feel like it's the only way I can make sense with pain sometimes and trauma. And then being able to share that in a vulnerable state, you also connect with other people who are also going through it. So I feel less alone. And I think that art is that.
Yeah. It also makes you feel good. Like, honestly, if I write something that I think sounds really cool and I've come up with a melody and it's a story that means something to me, it makes you, it's endorphins. It's like a drug. It's like, oh God, that's so good. I did that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day I'm walking on cloud nine because I'm like, oh, I got that song in the bank. I cannot wait to go record that. It's going to be so good.
I love it. Just say that again. Banger.
Banger. What is up with your accent?
I
it's
just
wild.
can't. I'm so over it. Like at this point, I think I should have a disclaimer on everything that I do.
No, but I love it. It's
I'm like,
addictive.
I'm done.
That's why
I've
it's
told
good
this
you
story
do a podcast.
so many times. But I went to America, Australian accent. I was on Young and the Restless actually to get a green card. I was like, yes, I'll take the job to get a green card, and I almost got fired because my accent kept coming out. So they were like, look, it's so great, but I can't have you, like, you're taking over a role of someone. I'm like, yeah. And I was like trying to get this American accent. And then my husband at the time was like, you should, but my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, said, you just need to speak in an American accent. Like you just cannot break it because if you don't, you're going to lose this job. You're going to lose a green card. You're going back to Australia.
You're a lot more American than you are Australian, though. Like, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're getting very good. Like,
but the more I'm here, the more words come out. And like, I was just
when
saying,
they come out, I know.
I was saying on a podcast yesterday, I was like, it's like when you know French and English, and I'm like, fuck, should I say word or should I say word? Like, it's almost like my brain doesn't know if I should be like, should I say bonjour or should I say hello? Should I say water or should I say water? Like, it's kind of has this weird feeling of like, I don't know what to say. Like, so I'm just confused half the time. I'm like, what do I say?
Man, that sounds so stressful.
It is, and people get very offended by it a little. Like the DMs that I get on my Instagram are just like, "Why do you have an American accent?" I'm like, "Cause I'm trying to fucking pull the wool over your eyes." Like I don't like what's the point?
It reminds me of Sia.
Oh yeah, does she have a bit of a
very muddled. Yeah.
Oh good, yeah.
Like it's so similar. I think it's the case of being. But I do the same with I've got a lot of Kiwi family.
Yeah.
And my husband's a Kiwi, so like every now and then I'll like sort of dip into
Fish and
Kiwi
chips.
Sort of lingo, and it's very annoying to some people because people are like, oh, I thought you were Australian. I'm like, no, I am. I just have a stack of Kiwis that are in my head. And
say how are you today, Tammin, in Kiwi, in a Kiwi accent.
How are you today, Tammin? Are you having a nice day?
Are you having a nice day? It sounds South African to me.
Yeah, he's South
yes,
African.
it's right. He's over there. They talk like that. My mom is South African. I was born in South Africa, so I'm allowed to do the accent.
So you got that on top of everything.
Yeah, they're like, go over there at the door.
Yeah. The shock. Look out for the shocks.
Look over for the sharks over there.
Are going to attack
Which
you.
I don't know, like, how many times someone's going to say, look out for the sharks. But they do say
well, the only reason I say that is because anytime I hear the South African languages during Shark Week, because it's
so
always
funny.
in South Africa.
Look over the sharks. There's lots of...
The sharks.
The sharks. There's lots of great whites over there. Lots of great whites.
I want to meet your mom.
Oh my
so
God,
cool.
she's so great. She's muddled too. She's like South African, Australian.
Yeah.
Access is such a thing, and I think people, like, if you don't fit into a box, which is probably the same for music, it's like people don't understand it.
No.
Like, my husband's a very sort of Quentin Tarantino type writer, but so they wouldn't hire him for just a straight drama. Right. Or just a straight comedy, because his comedies are very dark.
Too brutal.
Like,
he wants
super
blood.
dark comedies.
Just wants to just...
Yeah, people are like, you can write like a sitcom, because people want to put him in, because it's like they don't understand going outside of that box.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's so true. People need to be able to categorize things. It makes
to
them
make sense of
comfortable.
it.
Yeah.
So I want to go back a little bit, if you're comfortable with it, talking about family relationships. Do you feel like there's so much pressure on women to have kids in this business? Like when you get to a certain age, do people ask it all the time? And do you feel like A, they shouldn't ask it, B, you're okay with them asking it, or C, that I don't know, C, you can see for me.
I think, like, just because I know so many of my friends who have really struggled in the worst way possible, and I've seen them navigate those questions, and I'm like, I just don't even know if they're necessary.
Yeah.
You know, like I think, but I get it as well.
Yeah.
Like I really get it because I post a lot about my nieces and nephews. And all the time, you know, people are like, oh, you're so good with them.
Yeah.
You're going to have kids. And it's like, it's just a really
It's a personal question.
personal thing, you know. And yeah, like obviously it's you could never control that question. But yeah, I think sometimes I feel for other women, I guess.
I mean, I had so many miscarriages between my first and my second baby, and people were like, when are you going to have a second baby?
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I just birthed a second baby on, like,
Yeah.
honestly, on, like, this is intense, but like on my dog's pee pad because I had an awful miscarriage. And I'm like,
Wow.
but yet everyone's like, well, when's it coming? When's it coming? And they don't do it because they know that that's what you're going through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's like a lot of trauma wrapped around it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that women's reproduction is their own choice. And also,
Yeah.
why can't we celebrate women who do, like we do, but it's, my friend Ellie was like, she doesn't want to have kids, but when she said she didn't want to have kids, so many people tried to convince her
Yeah.
that she did want to have kids.
Yeah.
And I thought, why can't people just let women make their own choices?
Yeah. Well, I kind of understand. I have a friend, Ricky Lee, who's in the business, and she just came out and said, hey, I'm not having kids, okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And I see why she did that now. It's just so people would stop freaking asking
asking.
her, you know? It's just one of those questions that I'm forever navigating through and just reminding people, hey, like, you know, I get, like, you asked me that and I'm a strong person, but one day you might ask someone who's very fragile. So I would take that out of your corny radio show and like just calm down.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
talk about the single that she's just put out, or
Exactly.
it's just like, yeah. But I freaking love kids, and
Listen,
yeah.
I love them, but sometimes
Oh,
my
yeah, I love
kids,
handing
I'm
them
just
back.
like,
I love handing them back.
could I just, I always say to my husband, like, if we were divorced, I'd get time off, right? So I could have mine for the week. I'd be a great mom for a week.
Honestly, some people
and then
have
I
the
could
best
be
setup
like,
like that.
oh my God, I'll be like, and I would love you because you're such a great guy. So it's not like we're going to like hate each other. This is in my head. Unless you have like an amazing new girlfriend, then I probably would hate you.
that might.
And then I can like give the kids off for a week and then
Yeah.
they would have daddy time and I'd have a week to myself.
Yeah, well, I actually love being the cool auntie. I think
Yeah.
that's wild because the kids just like, if they can get away from mum for a bit and they see my face, they're just, it's like, it's so addictive being that. And I really love being an auntie. So, yeah.
But your love story, and it is a love story. You've been with your husband for like how many years now?
We just celebrated our 10 year
Yeah.
last year.
So what makes it work? Look, I'm in it with you. I'm 10 years, 18 years together. And there's sometimes I'm like, I don't know. And then there's other times where I'm like humor and kindness and all those things. But it's hard to keep falling in love. You have to keep falling in love.
Totally. I think the key is to be best friends. I think that is a massive part for Shane and I. Like, he's just my person. And I think it does help being, it's like a lot of the times it doesn't because we get things sent to us and written about us, and you know, Shane will get like messages from someone saying, oh, I was just with Amy last night, and or I'll get a message saying Shane was with me. It's like people are forever trying to destroy us, you know.
Of course.
But we're one step ahead of most people all the time, but we're very honest with each other. We communicate a lot, and sometimes that communication can be really colorful. You know, we're very we just don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
If I'm not happy about something, I'm like, hey, we got to talk about this because it's really pissed me off.
But you seem so nice even when you said like this really pissed me off. Like I would be like, sure, I'll talk to you.
That's because I'm in this beautiful setting,
Yeah.
Tammin, and you're a beautiful woman, and I don't want to scare you. But I think it's understanding. There's a lot of Shane's friends. A lot of his mates are like, oh, I'm just like, it's just like the fire's gone out. I'm just sick of her, and they've been together for like a few weeks. It's like you have to understand that it's not like the movies.
Right. In the beginning, it is for a few minutes.
Of course it is, but you have these ebbs and flows through marriage, and I don't know if you found this, but every now and then you're like, we're like in this perfect world again, and like we've been on holidays together, and it's like the passion's there again, and it's like, and then you might have a rough time, but then you might find that other thing that's like, oh, we enjoy doing this together, we found this together, and or we like cooking this certain meal, or eating at that restaurant, and that's our thing. You got to find these little ways to keep the excitement, and it's hard. It's not meant to be easy, but I would rather be with someone who I'm super comfortable with and someone I trust with everything and can have fun with than constantly trying to find the flame and try and be in that honeymoon
We do date
period.
nights, and then we like try to have sex on Fridays.
Yeah,
that's like
that, we got a calendar.
Friday.
That shit.
I know.
Yeah.
I try to do Tuesdays, like Taco Tuesdays, but like it's like special. But I
I
don't ever get a Tuesday in.
I stir Shane up all the time. I'm like, birthday's coming up.
Yeah. We've got some new positions on your birthday. No, it's always
Birthdays
Fridays.
and Christmas.
But the problem is with Fridays is like you go to dinner and then I don't drink anymore, but like, you eat a big meal and then like the least thing I want is like a big old, bloated gut, all farty.
See?
Yeah, exactly.
See? If you're
all
listening to
farty,
Shane.
and then like, he's all farty and I'm like, should we lay on top of each other? And he's like, this is not
Why
sexy.
don't no guys get that? Why
I
don't
don't
no guys
know.
when it's like, oh, this is excuses. It's like, no.
Well, I'm that
feel like
person because
shit.
I actually want like I've always been a very sexual person, so I don't really even care if I'm gassy. Poor guy. I'm like, I don't care.
I really love this podcast
yeah,
with everything.
I know. I'm just like, I don't care if I just leave a little fart out. Who cares? But he probably does.
Go now.
That's why I can't leave him because he's gonna tell him like who's gonna take me at this point. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
listen.
no. I think about people dating, and I would be like, I like listen to my friend who goes on all these dates, and I'm just like, try and put myself in that situation. I'm like, I would just be the most weirdest, awkwardest person trying to date. Like I would pick him apart in 2 seconds. I'd be
I
like,
know.
oh, what? But I wouldn't tell him. I'd just be like, oh, God, that's annoying. Wow, I can't believe he makes that sound. Whoa, that's a bad laugh. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe he wore that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd put up the hottest picture and say, just a reminder that on Friday nights I do fart in bed, and then just see like how many people swipe.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
probably get like one weirdo who's like,
You would-
yeah, we're
yeah,
into
I'm
it.
into that.
Yeah, I'm really
Yeah, and I
into
love your
that.
feet, too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, the feet. Have you got the feet thing yet?
yeah, like a website for your own foot.
But like everyone
a,
going, show us your feet pictures.
Yeah. No, you can search it. Like there's a whole
Yeah,
Amy
I
Shark
know.
feet thing. Yeah.
So what's your score? Are you like on the Wikifeet score? And
On
if
the
you
score,
don't,
I don't know if I
you
haven't
need
checked
to,
the
I'm
score.
at 5 out of 5. That's like my claim to fame.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to look this up.
Yeah, I was like, don't look at my feet right now. But I'm just saying, don't look at
They
them.
are good
They're not
feet.
ready. They're not ready to be
You're
shown.
a small foot.
I do. Like, I have cute feet. That's the thing I like about myself.
I'm like a 6 as well.
I'm an 8.
You're an 8. Okay, well.
But I bet your feet.
They
I
look
bet you've got a
smaller than
high.
they
I
are.
bet you've got a. I bet you've got a good Wikifeet score.
I'll find out. I can't
Yeah.
believe you get. I was just more in shock that there was a Wikifeet.
Yeah.
I think I saw that and was like, oh.
I thought to myself once, I could probably make a lot of money just sending people feet pictures in my
Yeah.
DMs and be like, they'll be like $200 for a picture. I'm like 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You set that up, and then once it gets going, you give me a
You
call.
can be my
okay?
agent. No, Shane can manage me,
Yeah.
but just my feet. Just
Yeah, you've got a
my
manager,
feet.
and then Shane's your foot manager.
Yeah.
He'd be
Well, what do
stoked.
you fight about though? Like, what is like a reoccurring fight that comes up? Because
Okay.
we've got a ridiculous one.
Reoccurring fight is a lot of the time where we're going to live, because we love the Gold Coast and we love Sydney, and then we're like, do we mix it up and go to New Zealand? Like it's
Yeah.
just like, whatever. A lot of the time he will work all day on my music, but I'll be doing promo or like in the studio or at Australian Idol or something, and I'll come home and want all these answers. I'll be like, where are we at with this? Where is? And he's already spoken to like 9,000
Yeah.
people about it. And he's like, babe, and I'm like, yeah, but who do I get to talk to about it?
Yeah.
Like you're it,
Yeah.
So like, and I want to know where things are up to, and I want to be excited about this album, and so but he's like totally drained from it. So that usually is a dark moment.
Yeah.
But but we're just like the same as anyone. Like what we're good at is if he's hungry, I'll be like, I feel like I need to have like a belt full of Subways, like he's a seal or something.
Yeah.
So when he starts getting, like I just could throw him
Give
a
him food, hangry.
sandwich or something.
I
Like,
know.
hey, eat. He's 40 and he just doesn't even know if he's hungry
I know,
yet.
isn't that weird?
I'm like,
I'm like, have you eaten all day? He's like, no, I haven't eaten since this morning. I'm like,
that's probably why
"Well, I
you're
don't wanna
talking to me like shit.
Yeah, I don't want to be around you right now.
Yeah, like, go and eat something. I bet you. And the second he does, he's like, oh, and he plays on it because he's like,
Yeah.
do you want to go for a walk? And
Yeah.
I'm like, you're such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because if you just eat, you're going to be okay. Or have a nap
hungry
and you'll
is
feel
the
better.
worst. My two are, I don't put lids on things.
You're one of those people. We could never be together.
I know. But wait, let me. So I was diagnosed with ADHD. I don't even know if it's real or if it's just anxiety that like presents itself as ADHD. But for some reason, the last turn is too much.
That's so disappointing.
I know. But like, it's not that. So sometimes he'll pick up the peanut butter and it would just like fall. See, now you would fight with me then too if we lived together.
That would be it, I think.
So that's what he hates about me. And I hate what about him is that he washes things before I've like, if I have a coffee, he'll throw it away before I'm done.
Oh,
Or I like
man.
haven't finished my cereal because life is so busy. I have 2 small kids. Like I'm eating my cereal and the cereal will be washed. The plate will be washed.
So he wants your place to be clean?
Anally. Yes.
Look, man, I like him.
Like, my house is so clean that it looks like a showroom. Honestly, like you don't know people live there, and we have 2 small children.
This is why you guys are good together, because this is such lame little things. Like when you start fighting over, and you realize you fight over the lamest of things,
I
it's
know.
like we're so in love.
We're fine.
You're fine.
We're fine.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of things before you go. I want to talk about the story. 2 things. I want to talk about your biggest shit show moment, but before then, I want to talk about the story that you said that. And you have to go into detail that your boobs weren't big enough to get a job at a topless bar. And you said that on 60 Minutes, which
Did
is
I
like,
really?
you did. And like the people who listen to this are like, we can say shits and fucks, but you said that on 60 Minutes where kids
Yeah.
are probably watching. And you said the word motorboating.
Oh, I did.
You did.
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What? Sometimes, and this is why you're good at this, is you're very disarming. I remember doing that 60 Minutes thing, and like it's such a big production, and it's disarming. You just like end up saying weird shit all the time. I think that's why people book me sometimes, because like you never know what this bitch is gonna say.
Oh, I get it.
She'll give us the ratings. What was the question?
Your boobs.
Oh, my tits.
You
okay.
wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go
No, this is where I came on this podcast.
because I think your tits are great, but like
Thank
apparently
you. No, so what happened was I used to play at these really dodgy pubs and clubs along the Gold Coast. You know the Gold Coast well?
Oh yeah, I lived there during COVID. We
course
got
you do.
stuck. I was there for 9
Great.
months.
Well, there was like a time where I would just play everywhere, and one place, it was called the Beer Garden.
Yeah.
And yeah, they would have a topless like afternoon, evening, and
While you were playing music?
yeah, I was just playing, bit
With
of nice
topless.
Tracy Chapman songs, Crowded House, whatever, all the hits.
Oh my god.
All the hits, And I had a drummer, not the drummer I have now. His name is Jack, and he was this young kid, and I only got him. He was good, but he was free, so I was like, yeah sick, great. And yeah, so I ended up talking to some of these women that were working there, and they were so cool, and they'd give me like free drinks and whatever, and she'd tell me like how much she got paid, and I'm like, man, if I only had some tits, if I only had a set of tits on me,
You get paid more.
I would make more serving drinks than doing what I'm doing
Yeah,
right now,
yeah, yeah.
slugging my guts out. But yeah, my drummer was getting a motorboat, like, because I
So
heard a few
just
beats.
explain to anyone, because I Googled it, to anyone that
You didn't know
doesn't-
what a motorboat was?
Listen, I've been away for
I
a
feel
bit.
like such a bogan right now.
I know, but motorboating, like, I don't know if it's something on the menu with my husband. I'm not sure I've ever said like, hey, do you want to motorboat me
Well, you've
right
got
now?
tits, so probably
Yeah,
could.
I do.
Yeah,
but sometimes
for
I wish I
shame.
didn't have any. I'd like. Also my
No,
husband,
never say that.
Yeah.
Never say that.
I want less. I want like a handful. I don't want like 2.5.
The time that I appreciate my body is when I'm at the gym, because they're not in the way. It's like, it's easy.
Yeah.
I can just run forever.
And you don't have to be motivated.
Forever, baby. Yeah, but not in a motorboat.
Exactly.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's basically when
God.
kids. It's basically
Kids turn off. If you're under 16,
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
that this country's 16? If you're under 16.
Surely that's not your demo, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. There's a few Pretty Little Liars fans. I don't know. They could be 17.
Demo is so weird because like I never thought that I would play shows and have like 7-year-olds, and like it's just so funny when
And you can't say like, the things you want to say sometimes.
like
You
I
can't-
do, sometimes like I have to remind mums that this isn't a Wiggles show, it's an Amy Shark show. So I'm gonna swear. There's gonna be like some mums like I brought my daughter and it was the first show she's ever seen and you said fuck.
Yeah.
And you said shit.
I mean,
You were
Taylor Swift
talking
said
about, like-
shit.
yeah.
I don't know if she said fuck too. I think she said fucking patriarchy.
Yeah, see?
There you go.
We still on my tits?
Yeah. What is motorboating?
What is motorboating?
Yeah.
So if you've got a decent set of titties and a guy like sort of puts his head in between them and he's sort of like, I'm not going to do the action.
There
My
you
Sony rep out there is probably mortified.
go. No,
She's
but
like,
who does that?
well, we had a good run with her.
What?
We were so good up until that Tammin.
Yeah.
That was the dark day.
I
That was
know.
when everything kind of took a turn.
And then she's gonna be like, "Don't go on Tam and shit." She's gonna tell everyone to not go on my
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Listen, at least we didn't talk about hemorrhoids or like budgie smugglers or things like
Oh
that.
my
You know what I
God.
mean? Like
yeah,
this is good.
motorboating's
not
very
so bad.
PG.
But
So
I just
that's what
don't
it is.
understand a man that or a woman that like you feel. Don't you feel kind of juvenile while you're doing it?
Yeah, like
You
a
know what I
little
mean?
boy in a booby forest
It's
or
like,
something.
like I don't know. Husband, do
I would
not
feel
motorboat
awkward.
me.
I would
okay?
like when I would look at these chicks who were just like, oh yeah, like,
Oh my God.
okay,
And then the
babe,
guys are
you do
like,
you.
yeah.
oh yeah,
Okay.
I'll just keep strumming away.
So on
here.
that note, I haven't looked at any of my notes
I
because
had
we just
such a good
flew
time with
through
you.
this.
This is great.
Can we? There's two things left before you can put your head
In my career,
in shame
like,
and walk
yeah,
out.
that's it.
Yeah.
Before we
Number
finish
one
things.
is what is your biggest shit show moment, and it can be deep and dark and beautiful, or it can be like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to me.
I've been thinking about this a lot.
Yeah.
And there is so many there's so many things, so many small things, big things. I think just to keep it in the vein of music, I guess, I played like one of my first late night shows, and we were driving from Philadelphia to New York to get there in time, and it was a shit show because Shane and I were already at each other because we were jet lagged, tired from the tour. It wasn't like a bougie tour. I was in a van with the guys still playing a late night show, but we're still like, slugging it around. People think you live in the high life, but you're not. So Shane and I were at each other, and he wouldn't come for a drink after the show, even though we had this long drive. And I was like, why? We're playing a late night show. We should be happy. Like, you're just never happy. Rah, rah. He said he was feeling sick.
Yeah.
We're fighting. I was fighting with my management at the time. Like, we had all this stuff going on, and I was being probably a little bitch as well.
Yeah.
Then we had this long drive from Philadelphia to New York, and we're driving along the highway, and Shane just starts projectile vomiting. So when he
my
said he was feeling
God.
sick, he was really feeling
You're
sick.
like, I'm so sorry.
I know. So we had to pull over, and so he's like vomiting. It's so cold. It was so cold.
Oh my God. And
was
he's vomiting
frozen.
on the bus.
Yeah, just in this van, just everywhere. And then we're calling ahead to try and get the keys, so because he's in his boxer shorts, so because everything was disgusting.
Oh
so
my
he's in little boxer shorts. We get there at midnight, and I had like an early sound check to do the late night show the next day, and still fighting with everyone. And Shane's like in bed, and I decided to just break down and lock myself in the bathroom because I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah. And I actually saw that appearance. Like I was
Yeah.
watching and I was like, oh my gosh, she's got her shit together.
Yeah, no, she
You
didn't.
did not
She
have your
doesn't.
shit
She
together.
didn't. No, it was bad. I was like, nah, I'm done. I don't want to do this shit anymore. And I was nervous. I was really,
Oh
really
my gosh,
nervous.
yeah.
And I just didn't have much sleep because of Shane's vomiting.
Ugh.
It was a shit show, babe.
Oh my
a
God,
shit
that is
show.
such a shit show.
Yeah.
I'll do a really quick vomit story, but my husband has really bad motion sickness, and we were in the Seychelles for like a work thing, and we had to go from A to B, and I was like, I'm not taking the helicopter because I'm too afraid to take helicopters. We took it back after this, and I was like, I'm just gonna go on the boat. He starts turning green and then like purple color and then like completely white. He starts vomiting so much that like all you could hear on the boat was like, because nothing was coming out. Then my daughter watches him, and then she starts vomiting. So I have two people around me just vomit. I'm covered in vomit. My youngest wasn't born yet. And I was like, oh my God, this is so awful. It was the most horrible vomit story.
Because there's vomiting and then there's seasick vomiting.
I know.
And
He wasn't
that's
okay for like 2 days.
Yeah, because you'd just be rocking the whole.
I was like look at
yeah.
look outside, look at the horizon.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not gonna help. I was
It's-
like, just look at that.
It's crazy to me because I've never had that for some reason. Like I've kind of got my sea legs, but when I see people like just heaving, I'm just like, oh my God.
I'm not a vomiter.
But I don't think I could ever do a cruise. Have you ever done a cruise?
I know. I don't think I could do it.
I don't think I could either.
People were like, oh, you just take your seat. And I was like puking in bags, like hand out vomit bags. I'm like, it's not an ayahuasca session.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not like all trying to like kumbaya it in like together and
No,
find
this isn't
closeness.
a cool moment
this
right
is
now.
not a cool moment. This is like the opposite of cool. This is like, I don't want to be around you. We're not vomiting in like a community.
This is the best
Awful.
podcast, I swear to God.
Okay.
I've never done one like this before. This is so good.
Yes. And then the last thing, last is, okay, because my accent's all over the place, I was going to mention that, but you lovely said that before.
Sorry.
So give me two of your favorite Aussie words. I would like to be new, if like newer, so like maybe I don't remember them.
Okay.
Motorboating's probably one of them.
Okay.
And they can be as bogan, like you said, as you want.
Okay. Aussie. Okay. Well, the one I use probably 10 times a day is, yeah, that guy's cooked.
So that
Cooked.
means like wasted.
Just like
drunk?
no, I think it could mean anything.
Drugged.
If someone is like not up to the job, like if someone's just like dropped the ball, or if someone is just a bit weird or something, like they're just cooked. Like
yeah.
like
This podcast is cooked.
so cooked.
Cooked? I don't know.
Tammin, yeah, she's cooked.
She's
man.
cooked, man.
She's
What's
cooked.
Tammin like?
Cooked.
Yeah.
See what I mean? It
Yeah,
works.
it works, yeah.
It works with
Okay,
everything.
one more.
One more.
Give it to me.
I've
I know
got
it's there.
one.
You gotta give it to me.
So this comes from Shane.
Okay.
It's really weird and a bit gnarly, but if someone's a real bitch without saying bitch, he says mutt bag.
What is a mutt bag? A mutt bag?
She's
Did he wait?
such
did
a
he
mutt
make
bag.
that? Did he make that up?
It's definitely a made up billing
I
special.
love it.
Yeah.
So instead of
mutt
being like a
bag.
bitch or like the awful word that people don't say, although they do say that word here a lot, but in America
do,
they don't.
yeah. Oh God, I had like I've just
That C
I had
word, they
Blink,
just,
I've
like-
had Blink-182 here on tour, right?
Yeah.
Not I have had them.
Like you're
the
hanging out
country's
with
had
them.
them.
Yeah.
Well, I have been a lot, and they don't understand how often we say the C word. And
'Cause
now
it's so offensive.
Yeah, but here they're getting really comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And they're saying it so much. And I know a lot of their like wives and stuff. I'm like, don't take this home, babe.
Yeah,
Don't take this
don't.
home.
I
It's
had a
not. I know
friend
it
say
feels
that to
right
me. She
here,
was
but
like,
it doesn't
"Hey,
feel right
C?"
anywhere else.
And I was like,
I know.
I'm done. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to be a friend anymore.
It
mutt
feels
bag.
bad, and especially, I don't know, I'm a little bit old school when I say this, but when I hear girls saying it so much out loud, I'm like, oh, well, like
This
I'm
is
just like, Amy,
nasty.
don't say it ever again, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds
Listen,
so bad.
you've got a better word. Mutt bag is
Mutt bag
so
is-
much better than the C
there you
word.
go.
And we're going to make it famous.
Yeah.
Okay?
such
You
a
and
mutt
I
bag.
are going to have like trying to GoFundMe to get this
Gonna
famous.
be mutt bagging around.
We should get it coined in the dictionary.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm
Yeah.
sure if you like it, I know you'll make it
You're like,
happen.
you can take
Yeah.
it. You can take it. I'm giving you this freebie.
Yeah, I'm gonna like see it later on and be like, hey,
Hey, she made so much
Damn
money
it.
from this word.
your credit card.
I'm gonna
Did you
make
ever,
mine
do you ever
next
use
song.
the term credit card? Like
all the
with
time.
people that like all the time shopping.
But like,
No,
like when I buy things,
my friends and I, we used to say, because like our younger siblings, if we'd hear them over telling a joke we'd made up, we'd be like, okay, credit card, like taking all the credit for my joke, like going around the
Oh, I
family
love
saying
that.
it. Like I used to always say to my brother, stop being such a credit card.
I love
Like,
that.
It's my joke.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for coming. I mean, thanks for having me.
I apologize. I apologize in advance.
Yeah, this
yeah.
has been so fun.
You're like, it's so fun until you listen to it back.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no.
Oh no, I'm cancelled.
I was
so
gonna
it's
get
fine.
I was gonna get you to play music, but I think we're running out of time.
I wanted
but-
to go fishing anyway and sort of give up music. So
Well, here is where it's gonna end for you.
it's great. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
I listened to your other interviews and I'm like, nope, we're not gonna talk about that. We're gonna really go deep. We're gonna get some vomit stories and some,
I'm gonna get this
some
one.
titties
you
in there.
Watch me.
You watch me.
I know. I said some things.
It's okay.
Those are
Titties
the
is not.
things. I'll talk to
my,
you later.
my daughter's 10 and there's a song, Lizzo's like, ba da da, big titties, and I was like, don't say that. And then I thought titties is fine.
I think titties is
Titties
better
are
than
great.
like yeah.
I breastfed her for like a year.
Breasts
She's-
sound ugly. Titties sound
Breasts.
perky and hot.
Titties.
Anyway,
That's
there
on
you go,
you.
kids.
That's you. And on that note, thank you, Amy Shark.
Thank you, Tammin.